Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Cup Night channel. My name is Shane, and today I'm going to be doing a reading for you connected to the energy of the moon. It is Moon Day, so we're going to celebrate that by tapping into what's going on with the moon today. As you can see, the moon is very dark. If we zoom in here, you can see it's got this little sliver of light. That's because it is in the final stages of the waning crescent phase. So we're going to have a new moon. I think it actually happens sometime today, within the next 10 hours or so. But yeah, so let me make sure I have this set to the right. No, I don't. Okay, let's reset this. There we go. So now we're in current time. It is November 17th, 2025. It's about 9:51 a.m. where I am now. And let's see, where did it move us to? Okay, yeah, it's all kind of screwed up now. So let me just search for the moon here. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so as you can see, the moon is in Virgo. If we look at the actual position of the planets at this very moment in time using our eyes or telescopes or software that also represents those positions, the apparent location of the object in the sky. So that is the energy I'll be connecting with. If you look at Western tropical astrology, the moon is probably in like Scorpio or Sagittarius or something. At least that's what it says. But in reality, if you were to use your actual senses to observe the position of the moon, it's in Virgo. And Virgo is a massive constellation, and the moon is kind of near like the kneecap thighs areas, pretty close to Spica, this fixed star in the constellation of Virgo. Yeah, so we do still kind of have this emphasis on Sagittarius energy here in Capricorn because Sagittarius is associated with the thighs and Capricorn with the knees. So there is kind of like this blend. There's this blend of energy. There's always a blend of energies, right? But sometimes others are more in the front. But today I'm feeling it feels kind of like woo, you know, you know. Yeah. So on the pre-shuffles, on the tarot, we ended up with the Five of Pentacles. So there is this energy of uh, being on the outs, um, some type of loss, maybe even like a sickness. Maybe you've been feeling under the weather. My boyfriend is currently not feeling very great. He's kind of sick today. Um, so that is definitely in the air. And then underneath that, we have the Ten of Pentacles. So it's like the good with the bad, right? Yeah, I mean, there's this like balance of having it all and kind of like being in lack in some way. So yeah, like I said, there's this interesting mix of energy today. It's kind of like all over the place. And also, so we have the 5 to 10, and we have the very beginning with the full coming out there underneath the 10 of Pentacles as well. The 0. So 0, 5, 10. The number 15 and the number 6 may hold some weight for you at this time. Keep a lookout for those in your environment. And then on the archetypes, we have the womb. Yeah, so this is like that incubation type of energy. There is something brewing, something being protected, something valuable. Yeah, and it's not quite visible, right? It's out of sight, but it's in this like container, and it's being cared for, and it is, you know, this could be. This is kind of giving me that energy of like restoration, especially since we have the Five of Pentacles with the sickness coming out. It's like, it's like retreating to this a womb-like environment in order to regenerate, right? Because whenever we're feeling down, feeling sick, you need to go somewhere that is comfortable and maternal and nurturing and revitalize yourself, right? So yeah, with the five pentacles and the womb together, that's the energy I'm getting today. Is this like restorative energy, this restoration of your valuable essence, right? Because look at the center there. You've got this gold little orb there, right smack dab in the middle of this triangle, and also this like nest, like fuzzy black unknown chaotic energy. I guess that's the way it's coming through for me. Okay, so if we look at the true sky chart here and you see the moon glyph is here, and it's actually the blue right there is conjunct with the MC, the midheaven, and it's in the 10th house. So there is a heavy emphasis on public persona, a public role that you play, because the midheaven is kind of the same energy as the 10th house, right? I also thought it was interesting when I pulled this up. You can see the moon's at 33 degrees of Virgo. It's also 33 degrees 21 minutes if you reduce the 21 to its digital root. It is also 3, so we have 333 here. And 3 carries the weight of creativity, right? Like I was saying. I mean, even the triangle here, it's got 3 sides. So there is this heavy emphasis on creative restoration is what I'm getting. And somehow that relates to your public role in the world. Yeah. So we'll keep that in mind as we dive into this reading. To kick us off, I'm going to get a couple of nouns and we'll go from there. So this one gives a lot. I did see the word substance there as the first one, so there's something substantial going on here, where there's substance to something. But we're just going to reduce it to 3. So, interesting. I think this is the first time I've gotten a Spanish word, quince, and quince means 15, I believe. Yeah, so look, the number 15 coming back around, right? And if you reduce that, you get the number 6. I'm going to double check that just to be sure that I'm not crazy here. Oh, interesting. Okay, so it's also apparently a deciduous tree. Quince or quince is a deciduous tree that bears golden yellow palm fruit similar to a pear. It is native to Iran and has a long history of cultivation and use in various cultures and cuisines. Huh. Am I crazy? Is this not also the Spanish word for 15? I mean, that's interesting. So there's definitely this idea of like bearing fruit. Yeah, 15. I thought so. Okay, yeah. It's like I know my Spanish hasn't gotten that bad. I haven't practiced it in a long time, but I mean, yeah, okay. So interesting. There's this. You also have the quinceañera coming through here, which is a celebration of a girl's 15th birthday. And yeah, that also seems very applicable here because we have the moon in Virgo, and the moon is a feminine energy even on its own. So there's just like, and then also the womb. So there's this really huge emphasis on feminine energy right off the bat. Also celebration, right? Quinceañeras are celebrations of like I'm pretty sure it's like a girl's introduction into womanhood, right? Celebrating 15 is called a quinceañera. In English, primarily in the United States, continue to refer to the celebration and honor surrounding a special occasion. Here, let's just read this. It feels relevant. The Spanish names for the celebration can be literally translated to English as the celebration of the 15-year-old. Fiesta de Quinceañera. Fiesta de 15 años. 15 years. Huh. Contemporary festivities combine Catholic traditions from Old Spain with the traditions of indigenous heritages of pre-Columbian Mexico, along with a few modern twists, and rely heavily on European influence from the period of the Second Mexican Empire. Okay, that's going really deep there. We don't want to go that deep, but yeah, interesting. Color pink coming through. I've been seeing that a lot when I was sitting and meditating, and just lots of pink things coming into my mind. And yesterday in the reading, we had a pig, the figure of a pig come through, and that made me think pink too. There's there is a bit of pink coming through here. It's kind of on the edges, if you can see that. Uh, yeah. So once again, there's this emphasis on like health. You know, this Five of Pentacles feels related to health. It could also be related to finances or material things, but there seems to be an emphasis on like the body and restoration. Yeah, okay. Interesting. Voyage and chance. Huh. This is making me think, combined with the number 6, if you reduce 15, digital root is 6, 1 plus 5 is 6. And voyage makes me think the 6 of swords, so I would not be surprised if the 6 of swords comes out at some point in this reading. And chance. So there is this energy of like, excuse me, let me drink some tea really quick. There's that like Five of Pentacles energy coming through my voice. We got more Spanish words here. This cup says cinco, so that's 5. Okay, sorry about that. All right. So anyway, it's like there's something to do here with taking a chance on some kind of adventure. And this adventure is related to the number 15 or the number 6 in some way. The number 6 is like harmony, balance. A lot of people associate it with love. Um, yeah, but you have two groups of 3, right? So it's like it's this even energy. All right, let's get into the cards. Because there's a lot going on here already, and I'm kind of confused about it. Because we've got, to start off, we have this like sickness, right, and this like healing kind of message coming through, and then now we have this like take a chance on an adventure. Yeah. So this is I don't know. I don't know what this is. Not yet. And also, it's somehow related to a public role. Energy of the 10th house in the midheaven conjunct the moon. And I just realized we're about to be at a new moon, and the Fool was right there on the bottom of the deck. The Fool, on the Fool card in this deck particularly, this is the Lunar Tarot by Jane Wallace, for anyone curious. It actually shows a new moon behind the Fool in the background. New moons are all about fresh starts, new beginnings, a new cycle. So, let's see here. So I had the Four of Pentacles flip over there. Prosperity, to me, this card also represents the body, as well as the home, things like that. Stable structures, right? Containers. Containers for wealth of some kind. It says prosperity there at the bottom. So, yeah, interesting. What else, Spirit, please? Oh, okay, those two went into default, so we'll go with those. Yeah, Seven of Wands, defense. So yeah, like I said, this is like that fortifying energy, this energetic healing of the body, right? or of the home environment. Let's see what these two. First we have the devil. Yeah. There's that 10th house energy. Capricorn is related to the 10th house. The devil represents Capricorn in the tarot. And the devil is a very mysterious card that can represent all kinds of things. It can be like ambition, drive. It can also be lies, illusions, deceit, addictions, those kinds of things. Hey, shout out to the channel. We have the Cup Night coming out. Yeah. Okay, and there's the full moon. So we have both the new moon and the full moon being represented in this reading as well. And interestingly, the Four of Pentacles shows a, let's see, light on the left. So this is a third quarter moon in the background there. So there's this like balance between full and new moon. And we started off that way, right? The 5 and 10 of Pentacles, they're like opposite energies, right? 10 of Pentacles is like abundance, and 5 is the lack of. So there's this idea of bringing things back into balance, and that makes a lot of sense because if we look at the sky, you'll see that the sun is currently in Libra, and it's actually come out of this like box figure, which seems, it's for some reason this has been emphasized for me in a couple of my readings now, but it's like it has exited this box, it's broken through this box, this boundary, and this is giving me Four of Pentacles energy too, that little box there made by the fixed stars in the constellation of Libra. So there's this push pull between like needing to conserve energy and heal and regenerate, and then also this like adventurous pushing forward, like this drive to move forward, right? So nights are all about like action and movement. And in the case of the Knight of Cups, it's all about like emotional energy. And the devil, like I said, it represents a lot of things, but in this case, I would say it's like probably represents many things here, but for this part of the message, it's like the drive, right? It's the fire to go. Although Capricorn is earth energy. So it's once again also this idea of like the body, like an earth vessel of some sort. Man, this reading is weird. I don't really know where it's going. I'm gonna have to let me get some archetypes. Maybe that'll help. Let's look at the words again. We had Kinsei, which is 15, Voyage, and Chance. Okay, I had one fallout. Let me grab two more. Okay, I think that might be more than two, but okay, so now we have this masculine energy coming out with the father on the bottom. We have the fault line. This archetype has come out in a lot of my readings recently. There, it's like the tower energy is what it gives me. It's like an earthquake, right? We have apocalypse. This is an unveiling. It's not just an end. It's like a revelation. It's an unveiling of truth, which utterly changes everything, right? Shakes up the environment. Fault line. We have the ring. This is some kind of promise, contract. And then we have the vision. Okay, so with the ring and the vision, I'm getting this like it's like a commitment to some kind of work, right? Some kind of vision. And we have with vision LV at the top, that's 15. There's the number 15 again. Also the number 6 if you reduce it. Yeah, okay. So this this just adds another layer of complexity because this is like this dedication to this vision. There is something that is going to be revealed about it. Apocalypsis is you know, it's very prevalent energy. Like it's a big energy, right? It's like a massive event, which apparently leads to a really big shakeup, a crack in the foundation, right? A splitting of some kind, an opening up to the underworld. Things hidden being revealed. And it is somehow related to this commitment, this devotion to a vision, right? And in some way, you could see the devil as devotion. It's not always interpreted in a healthy way, but it could be. And Knight of Cups there, it's like this emotional, spiritual devotion to building this thing up, nurturing this thing, Four of Pentacles, providing stability to this vision. But this foundation is going to be shaken up in some way, and that might be why the Seven of Wands is here on the bottom. Some defense is required. Maybe that's why there's this like push pull between like resting, healing, shoring up your defenses, and then also making progress. It's like the balance between these two things. So we're definitely in Libra territory here, right? There's this it's forward motion through balance, and the number 6 is a great representative of that. I'm gonna pull a few more cards and see what else wants to come in. Knight of Pentacles, yeah, methodical, steady action. You can see it says prevail on the bottom there. So we have 2 knights out now. So there really is kind of this balance of like masculine and feminine energy in this reading, because the knights are definitely an action oriented energy. And now, right as I say that, the chariot flips over. This is definitely action oriented energy. This is determination, commitment, devotion. Like I was saying, there's some kind of devotion to a vision, and you are not giving up on it, right? That's, like I said, one way to interpret the devil is this idea of like attachment. It some people say it's like addiction, but also in a reading it in a positive aspect, um, it is a devotion energy, right? It's like commitment, determination, being tied to something. But like in this case, the devil paired with a chariot. This is like a willingly tying yourself to this, right? It's not necessarily a bad. I'm not getting a bad energy from this devil card showing up in this reading. Let's see. I did have the moon on the bottom. I probably should have showed it, but shout out to the moon. Let's see. Okay, and then, yeah, here's more masculine energy coming out. Now we have the Emperor. Authority. So this paired with the Four of Pentacles, this is like I said, it's like shoring up your power, right? It's like really kind of like calling back this energy. It is this like it's a cycle like the moon, right? It's the cycle of like forward progress and then also stopping, going within, reflecting, and then forward progress. It's the balance between the masculine and feminine principles. Now on the bottom, we do have the Nine of Swords. You can see it says anxiety. This is like worry, fears, anxieties. It's all mental though, which means that it can be controlled, right? Because we can control our thoughts and how they influence us. So this kind of like trying to find the balance between this like stop and go kind of thing might be putting you in the state of like, oh my God, what am I doing? Am I doing this right? Like, you know, you might feel uncertain or unsure of yourself in some way. Let me draw one more card and then I am going to get a figure. So what I'm getting so far, if I synthesize all these like disparate messages that are coming through, is that you're taking a chance on a new adventure, a new voyage, whether this is a project or you're actually going somewhere, put it where it goes for you. And you're doing it in a balanced way with the energy of 6 coming through or 15. It's funny too, because I just realized I didn't even point this out. The devil is the 15th major arcana. So once again, the number 15 coming out. It reduces to a 6. All right. Queen of Swords, composure. Yeah, and look at that. So the moon in the background there, that is a first quarter moon because the light side is on the right. When the light side is on the left, it's a third quarter moon. So this is a building of energy, right? This is like we're about to be at a new moon, so this is the next phase, right? It's like maintaining composure, that balance between your inner world and your outer actions. You can see here she in this phase she has her sword down. So she's kind of just observing and listening instead of speaking, which the sword can represent communication. Well, part of communication is also listening. She is listening, observing, taking it all in, right? You can see her head is on the dark side of the moon there, kind of underscoring that feminine receptive energy. So she's taking it, she's observing what is going on in the light and integrating it into the hidden realms of herself. Yeah, and on the bottom, confirmation, we have the Emperor and the Empress showing up in the rating now. So yeah, this really is a balance between masculine and feminine energies. More emphasis on creativity too. I mean, this is good. It's like whatever this is for you, whether it's an actual adventure you're going on, like physically, or this is a project that you're working on, or whatever, you're doing it in a very balanced way, is what I'm seeing here. And you're very devoted with the ring and the vision to this vision, right? To this creative process. Emphasis on the vision with the number 15. It's interesting to me that the vision and the devil are both number 15 because the vision is more of like a nebulous, dreamy thing. And to me, the devil, it can represent illusions, but it can also, in my opinion, in my experience, can represent the solidity of something because it's earth energy, Capricorn. Um, so it's like spirit into matter. That's how I think of the devil card. It's and in its shadow state, it's inverted, right? Matter over spirit. So you would be in the inverted state, you would be putting emphasis on material things instead of spiritual things. Whereas in the harmonious state or the light state, we'll call it one way of saying it, um, you are putting your your spiritual goals, your connection to spirit above the illusion of the material world, right? And even in the way this card is depicted here, the light of the crescent moon, which actually, this is kind of the phase that the moon is at now, right? It's just a little sliver of a crescent moon, is over. You can see the devil is hanging on to it, right? So this is um, I would say I don't want to say correct, but the healthy interpretation of the devil card, right? It's spirit over matter. And especially, like I said, paired with the chariot to me is all about heart led movement. And the heart to me is the container for our spirit, our soul, like everything, right? It's our center. So it's kind of like the source of everything for us. So this is really being in alignment with the spiritual side of your nature and letting that guide you forward in order to solidify things into your life. But there is, and this is the kind of like the wild card part of this reading, there's going to be this shakeup. There's going to be some kind of massive reveal, whether that just be something internally for you. It's probably going to be something that's reflected externally as well, something you can experience with your five senses, but it's going to change things fault line. You know, this is like big earthquake energy or earth energy coming through. So it's clear we are making great progress on our journey, but I want to know more about this unveiling. The way this works is we are not going to get details, but maybe I can get just a little bit more of an idea of what kind of an unveiling this will be, if whether it's a positive thing or a negative thing, or might be somewhere in between. Usually that is the case. So let's see. Give this a little shuffle and then I'll. Oh yeah, I was gonna do the figure too. So here's what I'll do. Let me give these a shuffle and then we'll pull up a random figure and then look at the cards. All right. Oh, okay. Well, the Fool wanted to come out again. So yeah, it's kind of hard to see, but under his foot there is the new moon. I guess it's not that hard to see. Yeah, you can see it. There's the new moon. All right. And then I'm just going to put two face down, and then we'll look at a figure, and then we'll flip these over. On the bottom, Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, big change. Number 10 coming through again, just like the 10 of Pentacles. Now we have the Major Arcana 10. So once again, there's this balance of like beginning and the end. Full is the beginning, 10 is the end. Wheel of Fortune is the end of something and cycling up into something else. Okay, so let's go here. Let's see, figures. Let's see what we get. I had this in one of my previous readings. I think it was like 4 readings back. I'm not sure. But this image of like a tennis player or maybe pickleball or something where you use a ball and a racket, right? It's this back and forth, right? It's like when you're playing these types of games, you're serving a ball back and forth to each other, and the goal is to keep it going for as long as you can to maintain the momentum of the back and forth. This idea of like balance again. Okay, interesting. All right. And in this case, it looks like this person is positioning themselves to do the return, right? They're trying to get, like, they've already served the ball, and now they're expecting it to be coming back to them. And then they're trying to position themselves to serve it back. All right, we got another 5 coming out, 5 of Wands. So this is a little bit of, it says disagreement there at the bottom, but it's also this energy of like play in a way, or like training. And that is definitely coming through with this tennis player. My God, my throat today. Yeah, so to me, this is like practice, right? In this case, associated with this figure. And then also the Nine of Wands, perseverance. Lots of fire here. So that is the idea of, like I was saying, maintaining that momentum, right? Keeping the momentum going. So there's there has been a lot of training with this. You've been putting a lot of energy and time into this, and it hasn't been necessarily easy, but that, if it was easy, then you wouldn't be growing, right? And you have persevered and you're continuing to persevere. And that is taking you to this next level in this cycle. And in this next level, whatever it is, it's gonna be different because of this apocalypsis fault line energy. There's going to be a big shakeup, whether that's in the way you're approaching it. Maybe you have a really big realization. Apocalypsis, right? The unveiling. This is, you could think of it as, in some terms, like a light bulb moment, but like a really big one. It's like, the curtain lifts and then something that was there all along that you didn't know was there is suddenly visible, right? And it changes everything. It changes everything. The way it changes the way that you're playing the game, whatever that game is for you. Okay, let's yeah, I like that. It's exciting, mysterious, and exciting, as these readings often are. Can't give away all the answers because then it wouldn't be any fun. You gotta have surprises. All right, let's get some advice. Okay. All right, I'm gonna leave those bits down for a second. We do have the Five of Cups, another five showing up. Absence. Hmm. And maybe some kind of mourning or sadness involved in whatever this unveiling is. But it's going to have an impact on the way that you do things. So we'll see what else comes out there. But I also wanted to get some verbs for the advice. I like verbs for advice. So let's see. Okay, I tried to read 12 in yesterday's reading and it was a lot. So I'm going to reduce this to 3. Okay. Interesting. The There was a noun comparison in yesterday's reading, and now it's coming out again. Compare, repeat, float. Huh. Oh, I like that. Compare, repeat, float. This is almost like instructions. It reads like instructions, right? Like a recipe or a process. So it's like, what are you doing different now? How is it different from what you were doing before? Is it better? Is it worse? How many times have you repeated this, and to see if if the results are different? And yeah, and float. To me, this is that idea of like the rest, right? It's like, just sit with the results and just float in it and just take it all in, and then repeat, right? Make a little small change, compare the differences. If you like it, repeat it a number of times to get more information, more data about the results, and then just float in the information that you have gained from these subtle changes that you've been making. Yeah, that's really cool. Okay, all right, let's see what these cards are. Four of Swords. Yeah, Sanctuary. So to me, this kind of goes along with that floating energy, because it's like putting the mental processing down, putting the swords down, and just floating, meditating, floating in the energy. And we have the Knight of Wands. So this is that fiery action, passionate driving force. So you could see this as the energy behind the compare repeat part of this process, right? It's like this is the drive, and it's, plenty. This is gas. This is gas for that process, and there's plenty of it. Let's see. The Page of Cups, possibilities. Yeah, so to me, this is the testing, right? The testing of this new thing from the compare portion of this. So in order to compare, you have to have how something was and then how it is now, right? If you're talking about the same thing, you could be comparing different things, but this reading has been very much about a vision that you have been dedicated to. So I'm taking that as that type of comparison. It's like you've made a small change and now you're seeing how it was different from what you were doing before. And there are all kinds of new possibilities from this process, right? We have the full moon coming in again there in the background. And then the new moon is showing up in the Knight of Wands. So there's that balance. And then the Four of Swords, let's see, light is on the right. So this is the first quarter moon. Yeah, so there seems to be this emphasis with on both times I've seen the first quarter moon of like kind of starting this new cycle with this floating energy, right? Just kind of like easing yourself into it, like really relaxing and thinking about all the things you have changed about whatever this vision is for you, and just soaking it in, and then you start again, right? And then you make a small tweak and you compare and see where you are at now, and then repeat, right? Yeah, I like this formula. And like I said, okay, well, double whammy here. On the bottom, we have the Five of Cups and the Nine of Swords. So I think in the advice here, in order to avoid these states, avoid getting stuck in these states, it's okay to have a little bit of anxiety, right? That's what that nervousness is what makes us. It's like an alarm bell. As long as you don't ignore it, you're not going to drown in it, right? So pay attention when you start feeling nervous or anxious and address it. And that's where you can get these changes from, right? Like, what is making you anxious or nervous? And then make that small change to address it and repeat. And then if you end up slipping into this Five of Cups energy, which is kind of like depression, being stuck in this state of like focusing too much on the past and not moving ahead, Knight of Wands, well, there's your antidote. The Knight of Wands is your antidote to that Five of Cups, because it's like passionate forward movement. Just don't dwell. Like, it's okay to float, but don't sink. Floating is kind of an active, uh like, it's relaxed, but it's also active because you're not letting yourself sink to the bottom. You're floating, right? So yeah. And then finally underneath those, you have the world. So to me, this is like, well, for one, it is literally the completion of the cycle. This is the last major arcana before going back to the full. So this is a good cycle. And in order to help, stay out of these energies, the Nine of Swords and the Five of Cups, you have support behind you. You have the whole world behind you. There is information, groups, people, resources out there if you start feeling like you're slipping into these energies and you can't get out by yourself. So don't feel like you have to do it all on your own. Like, just talk to if you have a pet, talk to your pet. Even that can help. It's the rubber duck theory. And so in computer science, there's this uh, theory that if you're working on a problem and you get stuck, you keep a little rubber duck on your desk and you talk about your problem to the rubber duck, and it helps unstuck you. The duck doesn't even have to say anything, it's just something to talk at. It just helps you process the stuckness inside of you and get it out. And the duck acts as like a feedback, it's like a mirror, right? it doesn't have to say a word. It just has to listen. So really you don't even need like a living thing to listen. You need to treat the world, right? Treat the world as a companion, a partner in this whole process. Like, don't just drown in anxiety and depression and worry. Like, verbalize it. And another way you can do that, you don't have to, I mean, rubber duck, I think it's a great tool. Like, it doesn't have to be a duck, it could be anything. Um, but journaling, I mean, that is a form of like the rubber duck theory, right? Just type. It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to be a writer. You don't have to be an accomplished writer. Just stream of consciousness, or use a pencil and or a pen or whatever, and if you like that instead of typing, but just get it all out on paper. And then if once you have it and you can kind of look at it and review it's gonna make you feel better. I promise. It has helped me so much. Um, and you can delete it if you want. If you feel that you don't want to keep it, you can just you know toss that paper, burn it, ritualize the process, like write out all these negative things that are keeping you stuck and then burn it. It's symbolic, right? You're releasing those energies literally, one by writing, and then again by literally burning that paper. Of course, do that in a safe manner. Fire can be dangerous, so Smoky Bear, keep that in mind. But yeah, it seems like you have stumbled upon a very good system, and you are utilizing the system in a very balanced way. And the advice is to just keep doing what you've been doing. It seems like you've already been doing this. I definitely feel like I've stumbled upon a system that allows me to maintain momentum in the things that I'm working on. So, and it is something like this. It is something like this formula here. Compare, repeat, float. So yeah. Okay, this one went on a little long today, but that's okay. Sometimes it's like that. So thank you for being here with me. I really appreciate it. If you have any thoughts on the message, feel free to share them below. If you like the video, please smash the like button. It helps the channel grow. And yeah, as always, take care of yourselves. Keep your heart open. Bye.